Malcolm Kirk, known as King Kong Kirk, died.
Let's go back. Son of a professional rugby player and wrestler himself, Shirley Crabtree Jr., or as he was known in the ring, Blonde Adonis Shirley Crabtree, started in the early 50s wrestling locally for Joint Promotions, before briefly retiring in 1966 after being harassed at shows by retired wrestler and former European heavyweight champion Bert Azarati. Almost 8 years after his retirement, with the help of his brother and booker of Joint Promotions Max Crabtree, the pair would bring Big Daddy to life. Originally working as a baddie,
And start booing like mad when the baddie came on.
he teamed with fellow big man Giant Haystacks. By late 1975, the fans started cheering for Big Daddy after participating in a feud with Kendo Nagasaki that would see the unmasking of Nagasaki, which inevitably turned the fans around on Crabtree and resulted in a blue eye turn. Now, a beloved blue eye, we'd see Big Daddy take on England's most feared baddies over the course of the next several years, such as Dave Fit Finlay, Drew McDonald, and even his former partner, Giant Haystacks.
My toughest opponent.
Despite all his success and admiration from the fans, there is a stain on an otherwise stellar career for Shirley Crabtree. Back to 1987. Tagging with his real-life nephew Steve, billed as Greg Valentine, the two would take on King Kendo and King Kong Kirk. Born Malcolm Kirk in 1935, like Crabtree and his father, played rugby before transitioning to wrestling in the 1950s. Throughout his career working as a baddie, he wrestled against a who's who including Andre the Giant, William Regal, and Bret the Hitman Hart. He was even known to tag alongside Giant Haystacks as well. The Hippodrome Circus in Great Yarmouth. The finish calls for the Blue Eyes to overcome the baddies. Coming towards them at a rapid pace, Big Daddy scoops up King Kong Kirk, only to smack his body right onto the canvas. All 170 kilograms, 375 pounds of Crabtree then jumps up to deliver one of his signature moves, the splashdown, and pins King Kong immediately. The referee counts. But something's wrong. Kirk doesn't look right. After being rushed to a nearby hospital, he's pronounced dead on arrival. And before everyone knew it, Shirley Crabtree had just taken a life. Or did he?
Big Daddy performed one of his favorite moves, a splashdown, where he dived straight on top of his opponent. Malcolm Kirk, known as King Kong Kirk, died after the move. Medical teams at the ringside had tried to save him, but couldn't.
On the surface, it's easy to come to the conclusion that Kirk died from the impact of the splashdown. Following Malcolm Kirk's death, his autopsy revealed his death was associated with a pre-existing heart condition, and Dr. Norman Ball found evidence of 6 previously undetected heart attacks. Although interviewed by police, Shirley Crabtree was never charged in association with Malcolm Kirk's death. Facing backlash from Kirk's widow and the personal turmoil of being involved in another person's passing, Crabtree was understandably distraught, but vowed to return to the ring.
In the match, I had wrestled him. I mean, he was as strong as 3 men. He was 25 stone. He was known as the Pitman's Hercules. And as long as I live, I'll never forget seeing him laid down there on the canvas, instead of on his feet raging and flying about. And that will stay with me.
Big Daddy would continue to wrestle well into the 90s, his last match tagging with Tony Stewart to defeat the Masked Undertaker before passing in 1997. While Shirley Crabtree will go down as a legend of wrestling, one can't help but wonder, did King Kong Kirk actually suffer a heart attack?
We will stand and fight together. We shall not be moved. We will stand and fight together.